Hey guys, it's Tim Hills here from Hills Media House. I hope you guys have been well. So in this episode today, we're going to be talking about how to stop wasting time and how to make the most of it. So as I do in these videos, I set a timer for 10 minutes and get into it. So I will put a timer along here somewhere and we'll get going on 10 minutes as now. Okay, so now that we are a few days into the new year of 2021, it is the perfect time to try to get your life into some kind of order, or at least some kind of order for this year. So set a few goals and a few checkpoints to make sure you're on a straight path to try to achieve what you want to achieve in this year. Now there are a few ways that you can go about this, and a few ways that you can set out to kind of achieve those goals, and that's like setting out a planner or setting out a few daily reminders. There's a few other methods as well, but they all equate to one thing, which is accountability. So try to make yourself accountable for what you want to do and for what you want to achieve, and making yourself accountable for those actions and the route that you want to go on to achieve those goals and checkpoints, because otherwise they can shift a little bit. Your goals and your checkpoints can move around if you don't kind of plan out what you want to do, even if it is like short-term planning, so planning to what I want to achieve by the end of the month, or what I want to achieve by the end of the week, or that kind of thing. It's just helps keep yourself accountable to those, and if you don't, you can tend to feel like you're not going anywhere as well, because those goalposts and those checkpoints keep moving around, feeling like you're not really achieving anything. So one massive killer in this kind of process of achieving your goals is motivation. So without some kind of motivation, you can end up procrastinating, and just like you procrastinate about the job or the task at hand, and you kind of, by the end of the day, you're like, I didn't really achieve what I wanted to set out and what I wanted to do. So there's a few different ways you can tackle this, being like intrinsic motivation, so where you might dangle a bit of a carrot or a bit of a reward at the end of a task to get yourself to do it, no matter if you like it or not. Or there is like a few other ways as well, like you can just kind of set little steps in motion and set that kind of setting down little steps that get you to move forwards in a certain way. So finding out kind of the priority of how you want to set out those kind of little footsteps and those pavers on the alley brick road, basically, to what you want to achieve. So there is a quote from Steve Maraboli that says to take action. An inch of movement will bring you closer to your goals than a mile of intention. So it's very important to remember that as well, that even if you feel like you're not getting very far at all, the little bit of movement that you are doing and that you are putting in motion is better than kind of just thinking about it and going, I'm going to do it one day, I'm going to do it one day, and you never really get to it. So an important part of also planning out and like jet setting off into the sunset basically is that you have to take care of yourself and keep a balance. So keeping a balance, it's something that like works for you. I know that with the start of a new year and that kind of thing, you can be very enthused to just go full gun-ho straight ahead at what you want to achieve, but just be careful. Like if you don't take care of yourself, you can end up with like a few issues, like mental health issues or physical issues or relationship issues with like your partner, family or friends, that kind of thing, and you start to lose touch with a few people and that kind of thing. So just always kind of be considerate of the others that are around you, and take into account how they kind of come into play with your lifestyle as well. So if they are kind of using you as some kind of accountability as well, or if they're using you for some kind of support, it's important to be there for them as well. So not to just like completely scrap those people away and just focus on exactly what you're wanting to do. As I mentioned, it can play a bit of a role on your mental health as well, and your physical health. You can get pretty sick from being like burnt out and that kind of stuff. So definitely consider those things when planning out your goals. The other thing is to like take time to plan out and schedule the times away from your journey to recharge your batteries. So it is very important that you kind of stop and look around and smell the roses every now and then, and like taste the fruits of your labor basically. So it is hard at times that when you're on that route, you just want to go full straight ahead and just keep going and not wanting to stop and look around. But if you're constantly looking straight ahead and not kind of around you every now and then, you lose sight of what you have achieved and also like how far you've come. And on those times, like I call those checkpoints, you kind of get to those checkpoints and you can kind of take the wins and the losses and turn those losses into lessons. So I kind of take like, you never really lose, you always learn. So it is important to stick around those kind of checkpoints and know how to kind of look around and how to navigate around those checkpoints and what you have achieved and what you have won in and what you have also lost in or learnt in some of those lessons or some of those goals or those checkpoints along the way. So another important thing to remember is that there are 24 hours in a day. That might sound like a lot, or it might sound like not many at all, depending on what you're doing. If you break this up into 3 equal parts, that gives you 8 hours in each part. So it's kind of like the old rule of thumb where it was 8 hours of work, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of rest. But you may kind of think that's a bit crazy now, like myself included, in our kind of daily modern world that we live in. It can be tricky at times, especially if you're running your own business or got a family to look after and that kind of thing. So it doesn't mean just go out and work those whole 24 hours because you'll probably end up in hospital with some health issues and that kind of thing. So just be careful of like not burning yourself to the core with what you're doing. Like 24 hours is a fair few hours, but it's also not when you've got those things that you have to do in life, like food shopping and driving to work and that kind of thing. So most people spend probably an hour or two, if not more, in bigger cities in traffic alone. So yeah, you just have to kind of balance those things and that kind of like that time and learn how to make that time work for you. So and find a balance that works for you in those situations as well with that time that you have got allocated. So a common theme that I've found in a lot of these like motivational videos and stop wasting your time videos and that kind of thing is they have the hours in the day to achieve what you want to achieve. You just have to find them and take and use them to your advantage. So it's little things like if you get up 1 hour earlier every day for a week, that gives you 7 extra hours. And if you times those 7 hours by 364 days of the year or the 52 weeks, you'll end up with 364 extra hours straight away off the bat. So 1 hour earlier, either staying up or getting up earlier is equating to 364 extra hours in your year that you've now found. So it is only the beginning of the process in a way, because most people are like really stuffed when they get home from work. So it is like important to channel into that motivation now more than ever. So most people kind of they get home or whatever and they sit down and watch TV and they might watch the news or they might watch Netflix or something like that, or a movie or those kind of things. Or when that alarm goes off at 5 or 6 a.m, they're like, oh, just an extra hour of sleep would be so good. So and it is, sometimes it's nice to just like have that and just relax and rest up and that kind of thing. So don't feel bad for yourself if you kind of set that goal to be like, okay, I'm getting up an hour earlier and you only do it 3 days of the week instead of 7 or 5 or whatever you set. So just try to pick that little bit of time up later on. So and another thing is also, if you give yourself like 30 minutes of your time, like reading a book or something about like bettering your passion or bettering your business or yourself or that kind of thing, you can also use this like 30 minutes or an hour to like better your health as well. So like going for a walk or something like that as well. So again, like with the 30 minutes, if you allocate 30 minutes a day for the year, it equates to another 182 hours. So if you put those numbers together, the 1 hour for the 52 weeks plus the half an hour, you've got an hour and a half, which now gives you 546 extra hours of the year you've just found. That equates to around about 3.5 weeks, so nearly a month. You've nearly found a month's more time in your life to allocate to those goals and to bettering yourself. So you've freed up a lot of time. So that's only dedicating an hour and a half every day. So if you can do more, great. If you can do less, don't beat yourself up. it is important to like also have that downtime and to unwind. So you don't want to keep your mind fully stressed all the time or anything like that. It is very important to kind of relax that mind and get rid of those stresses, and even use that 30 minutes from your hour and a half kind of thing to be mindful and take a bath or a shower or go for a walk or something like that to de-stress. It still leaves you with that 364 hours, so a bit over 2.5 weeks of time, I think it is there. So you still found a lot of time to get some stuff done, which is really good. So I find that like time is valuable and it's something that you cannot get back. So use it wisely and use it the way that you want, as you're in control of it, like it was currency. It is one of the only things in life that you cannot get back. If you go and spend $100, you can go to work and get that $100 back, or make that $100 again, kind of thing. So, but with time, you cannot borrow it, you cannot lend it, you cannot anything with your time. Yes, you can borrow, like you can lend it to someone else and be like, okay, I'm going to help you out for an hour, that kind of thing. But it's very important that you realize the value of your time, and to your goals and achieving your goals and keeping that motivation and keeping that determination to get what you want done. So I'm going to leave it there for this episode. Hopefully this helped you guys out. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, and also let me know in the comments below if there's any hacks that you use to free up some time in your schedule. It's always appreciated, and I'll be sure to reply to those as well. So without anything else to say, that's it for this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.